Thank you for the wonderful introduction, and especially to JPCS Mapúa for having me. Okay, I'll now share my screen. Okay. So before we talk about the specifics on wireframing and prototyping, let me first introduce to you the Figma. Figma is a free design tool where graphic designers, UX, UI designers, and developers, also front-end developers, can work together and collaborate in designing your product or your application. So this is also helpful for your clients in order for them to help you design the product. And okay, so Figma is also available on both browser and application. So you can work, you can use Figma on the browser and download it in the application. Currently, I am using the app, I downloaded the application. So this is a free tool. However, I have a tip for you guys. When you go to, when you go to pricing, you can see, especially for the students, you can have the pro feature for free. So in here under pricing, you go to the professional subscription and you click on free for students and educators. To unlock the pro features, you can apply using your school account or your school email. Okay. And then with Figma, you don't only do wireframing and prototyping. You can do a lot of things. That is why it is really a powerful tool to begin with. You can create flowcharts, wireframe, mood board. You can create your Instagram templates, Amazon Web Services diagrams, Google Cloud, and a lot more. This is also where I do my school activities. I create Venn diagrams, and I even did my presentation using Figma. Okay, let's start. So a lot of people are wondering why, what's the comparison between Figma, Adobe XD, and Sketch? So for those who are familiar with Adobe XD and Sketch, it is similar with Figma. However, if this is the most commonly asked question, sino ba mas lamang yung Adobe XD, Figma, Sketch, since these applications or tools are ang main purpose niya talaga is wireframing and prototyping. However, the answer to that is that it depends on the user's purpose of using the application, kung paano mo siya ginagamit. For example, me, so currently I am using the application, and dito makikita I am using my school account, spumanila.edu.ph. So I have the pro feature. So ang ano niya is kapag naka-pro ka, you can create a lot of teams. So this ang maganda kasi sa Figma, you can collaborate easily. So for me, as a student and as pag nagde-develop din, ang purpose ko when using Figma is, like I have mentioned, is to create yung mga prototypes, yung mga web design. So dito makita yung mga web design ko. I even dito na din ako gumagawa ng concept map ko, nagde-design, and do my presentation. So dito din ako gumagawa ng PowerPoint. All in one siya. And you can create yung mga presentation games. So to learn the different things that you can do, you can go to the community part of Figma. So yun yung mga different. And another good thing about Figma is that you don't have to go outside of the application to get other resources such as illustrations, icons, yung mga type fonts, type styles, and yung mga frames na needed nyo, whether for mobile or web. And especially, we also have UI kits. Ayan. Okay. So let's now talk about wireframing and user interface prototyping in Figma. So let's ask muna, if you guys, first time nyo lang ba marinig ang Figma? Ayan. Comment nyo guys. Hello dyan sa nanonood sa atin sa Facebook. Ayan. Is it your first time hearing about Figma? Okay, sabi ni Mary Rose, no. Jericho, yes. And first time lang po. Yes, no, yes. Okay. Not really, but haven't tried. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Ayan. Okay, so this is good kasi if you have heard of Figma or not yet, we won't go really technical in wireframing kasi when you hear wireframing and user UI prototyping, halaan na yan at sa ang parang ang lalim naman yan. Okay, so don't worry, we will just go beginner friendly, especially din sa first time lang nakarinig ng design tool. So others, I think yung iba has experience na in Adobe XD and Sketch. And if you're thinking into transitioning using Figma, I really highly suggest it. So going back to the question, who is much better, Figma, Adobe XD, or Sketch? And the answer to that again is yung purpose in using. But a lot of graphic designers really recommend Figma talaga daw. Okay, and hindi siya, it may look overwhelming. So pakita ko lang ulit. Kumari ito yung workspace. Ayan, 'di ba mukha siyang overwhelming? Pala ang daming Pero it is easy to to navigate through. And I will help you with that, guys, don't worry. Okay, so let's first identify what framing is all about. So if it's your first time, okay, like tayo. Ayan. Thank you agad. Balik tayo, guys. Sorry. Ayan. So, first time hearing about wireframing. Wireframing and prototyping, the both terms that we're going to talk about today, is really essential and important in terms of designing your product, or also what we call our web application or mobile application. So, I will give you an example. So, for example, imagine this, that you are a UI, UX designer or a graphic designer or a developer, and you have submitted your design or your prototype to your client only to find out na hindi pala yan yung gusto nila or ang daming kailangan baguhin. Kaso ang nagawa mo, you already created yung interface mo with user experience na may pictures, icons, and everything. Pero hindi pala yun yung gusto ni client. So, syempre, you go from scratch again, think of you conceptualize. So may hirapan ka, especially if you have a tight deadline, and magiging costly siya sa end ng client kasi it will take a lot of revisions to do the design. So the purpose of wireframing is that kaya siya nagiging essential kasi it will be much easier for you to avoid those difficulties or challenges. So it is essential because it helps you bago ka gumawa ng mismong application, especially sa mga developers na may mga clients na kumare freelance. Hindi mo pala alam na pwede ka pala na mag-i-design mo muna kasi 'di ba? The developers out there, mahirap mag-develop pag nirerekta mo siyang i-code. So 'di ba usually what we commonly do is do it on pen and paper, especially when we conceptualize it. Some developers do it this way before they put it into hard code. But today we're going to focus on the design aspect of wireframing and prototyping. So ito, everything now is integrated online digitally. So there may practices pa rin na we do it on pen and paper where we are most comfortable, or we do it directly dito. And Figma can help you with that. And actually kahit pen and paper, you can trace it using Figma. So yun nga, magiging essential siya. And an easier term to remember what framing is about, it is like a blueprint or like a foundation blueprint na para siyang skeleton na magiging itsura ng layout mo sa iyong frame. So the good thing about wireframing is that you can review it you can review the layout with your client. So you can collaborate here, papakita mo yung wireframing mo. So for example, this one. Ayan. So papakita mo yan sa client mo, and then your client can collaborate, can add comments na kunwari add avatar, mga ganyan. So this is a good thing about Figma. It's just not a design tool, but it also helps you collaborate with your clients in real time. Ayan, in real time. Okay, so another point is that before putting your design, yung adding icons, it helps you review it first. So para hindi ka mahirapan na redoing it, revising it, especially if you're not, hindi pa talaga final yung layout with your client. Or kumari, if, for example, this is a personal project, especially kumari, kahit within ourselves, minsan undecisive tayo sa design, parang gusto ko ganyan. So instead of redoing everything, you can duplicate this and adjust or modify yung mga nakikita nyo dito. So before putting your icons, your colors, your buttons, or branding, wireframing is really helpful to begin with designing your product. So again, the different ways, you can start with pen and paper. So today we're going to do a tutoring app. So ang ano natin today, it's not going to be very hindi naman siya maging complicated. We're just going to create 3 or 4 frames, and then we're going to connect it and make it a prototype. So we're going to design this digitally. And one thing that you can remember when doing your wireframe is starting to design, especially those who are having a hard time in designing, is that for example, may it be doing a project with your client or for yourself or a personal, is that you always think of the question na what does my product need to accomplish? So hindi ka lang basta-basta maglalagay ng placeholder dito, ng mga box dyan. Dito lalagay ko yung logo, ganyan. Dito dapat may login. So another important tip in wireframing is to identify the hierarchy. So imagine a pyramid, the hierarchy of importance dun sa mga ilalagay mo. This is where user experience comes in. So ano nga ba pinagkaiba ng user experience sa user interface? User experience mainly focuses on how the user navigate through your screen. So kumari, you created this. You planned on doing something. Kumari, ito, let's focus on the hierarchy. Ano ba dapat mauuna, yung course topics o yung login? So, obviously, yung login muna yung kailangan, yung unang screen na pupuntahan ni user. So, another example is that, kung nga a food application, food delivery application. So, ano ba yung una niya makikita? Of course, yung mga food na nagde-deliver, tapos pwede mong ilagay sa side yung sign up, mga ganun. So, you identify the hierarchy of needs, and especially the layout. Yung logo ba dapat nasa baba o nasa taas? So, commonly, di ba, the logo, whether it may be on the web application or mobile application, is placed on the top center or on the top right. So, those are the things that we need to identify then when we are doing wireframing. So, commonly is yung mga login, log out, ay mga login, sign up. So always identify the main goal in structuring your wireframe. And identify the requirements from your client. So again, wireframing is like a blueprint. There are different kinds. So pen and paper, there are 2 versions, but the commonly wireframing na nakikita natin is this one, the gray one, the grayscale or the black and white. However, there are also, if you're not you do not prefer that, this is also considered a wireframe. As long as it has one solid or plain color, this is considered a wireframe. So this is the blue version. Okay. Ayan. So you can also do it on freehand here at Figma. Ayan, you can just, so ito yung side-by-side comparison niya, is your wireframes should look like this in a way na it only has boxes, ganyan, text. Yung iba, di ba, when they create a web app, makikita natin doon, since hindi pa naman siya final, mga lorem ipsum, yung mga ganyan na word. Ayan. So, if you aren't confident, like I do, charot, na sa design skills talaga, I'm also improving pa talaga in my design skills. So, a good thing, like I have mentioned, madami tayong dito, pwedeng i-gamitin na free resources. So, I'm going to show you yung mga wireframing kits ni Figma. So, when you download Figma or when you open it on your browser, so it's your first time, if it's going to be your first time using it, meron dito sa Figma na file, so about wireframing in Figma. So, some designers, actually what designers do is they create in a file lahat ng different types of wireframings nila na pwedeng i-tailored. What does that mean? Pwedeng i-tailor in a way na kunwari, you have different varieties of clients. Meron kang client from the gaming industry, e-commerce industry. So, syempre, instead of, another good thing about wireframing is instead of gagawa-gawa ka pa na iba-ibang wireframes, why not create something like this? So, tulad nung kay Figma na you can just simply get it from here. Mga simple wireframe, navigation, yung mga common layouts, subpage, body layouts. So, there are different resources that you can try. Just copy it or drag it. Ayan siya. And so ito naman, this one is hindi siya grayscale. This one is blue. Blue ba to? Pink and purple. Ayan. So this naman, this UI kit has icons, buttons. So if you're a professional designer, ito yung mga, this is the tips that they do, is to create it all in one file, and then once you need to do a project, you just simply get it from here instead of creating your wireframes over and over again. So you can also create your own buttons, create your own components and variances. So tulad nito, unlike nung kay Figma, unlike nung ginawa niya dito, this one is for a web web app. This one naman, it can be integrated in any kind of devices, may it be on the browser, ayan, different sizes of phone, and ayan din may mga text siya, mga keyboard. So this one, so we have the blue one, this one is the grayscale wireframe. Dito din, this one naman is, and comparing it to yung lo-fi, in any device siya. Ito naman for mobile lang. So if you want to save time, or if you want to make it easier for you, you can download a UI kit. So kung mari dito, how you do that is just click on it and click on duplicate. And check if yung kit niya is for UI or for mobile. So ayan siya. Okay, and then what else? Ito din. So navigation, the common thing that we use is navigation, button, inputs, media ay mga placeholders. So this is a good thing about Figma na you can either do it freehand from scratch or just put it here. Ayan. Okay. So, to make it less overwhelming for you guys, so ito papakita ko lang, meron din tayong mga sources na cheat sheet for, especially for Mac users. So, I'm currently using Windows. Ito yung mga shortcut keys if you need them. Yan. And I won't go really in detail with the functionalities, the fundamental or basic functionalities or features of Figma. I already have a video for you guys on my YouTube channel. I talk about lahat ng pwede nating gamitin, all the tools that we can use in Figma, and also I gave tips kung paano yung mga shortcut keys or paano natin mas mapapadali yung ating design experience using Figma. Okay, so ayan. So, quick overview lang. In Figma, you have frames. You can do grid, shapes, text, grouping, constraints, selection, and mask. You can create components and commenting for collaboration. You can export yung mga elements na ginawa mo. For example, this placeholder, I will just go to the right side, the right pane, click on export, and click plus, and I can export pwedeng yung buong frame, yung element into these following file types. Ayan. And you can also inspect. I haven't really tried this feature kasi this is for the developer side na. Is yung inspect. You can copy the CSS code on the side. So, ayan siya. iOS, Android. So, also a good thing about Figma, you can directly get the source code of your elements here, especially if you created them. So, ayan. And yung mga other common features like duplicate, resize, copy style. A good thing about Figma is there's not, hindi lang isa yung command when doing your, yung mga commands na gagawin mo sa kanya. There are many shortcut keys, and ayun. You can create variants, components, and auto layout. Okay. going back with the wireframing, so there are two kinds of yung mga ating UI UX. So we have low fidelity and high fidelity. So in wireframing, it is called low fidelity. Ayan, low fidelity is the term. So again, it just composes or compromises of simple boxes and text. Ayan. Hindi ko alam kung bakit siya nagganyan. Baka naggalaw ko. Okay. And so ito yung low fidelity. It's the grayscale one. Or again, you can do it on drawing, pen and paper. And this is an example of a high fidelity. In this case, dito siya, it's a simple layout that I did. Dito na natin i-integrate yung mga icons, colors, text, and yan. Okay? So, going back to our to wireframe is upon learning yung mga important things about wireframing, let's observe this. Whether or not you are a beginner or already a professional sa mga audience natin today, mga designers and developers. So again, showing you yung ating concept is today we're going to try to create a tutoring app by wireframing and prototyping. So ito yung drawing. Pagpasensya nyo na yung drawing ko, guys. So ito, as you can observe, ang ano niya dito sa pen and paper, ang disadvantage din kasi kapag nag-wireframe ka sa paper, ayan, di ba, pabago-bago isip natin, ang daming erasures, ay, hindi pala login to, username, ganyan. Tapos, ay, ayoko pala ng topics, kung wari, client ko, sarili ko, ayoko pala ng topics, gusto ko courses. Tapos, gusto ko may logout dito, tapos gusto ko ganyan, di ba? Nakaka-frustrate, ang daming gusto, ganyan. So, yun yung mahirap dito, kaka-erasure natin in pen and paper, it's hard to identify kung alin ba talaga yung bago nating recent idea or concept. So in here, you can easily change it and add comments. Okay, so the question, guys, is, in our tutoring, our login frame, so dito siya makikita natin siya. So dito, hindi pa yun, hindi, okay. Ang dami. Don't be overwhelmed, guys. So, ayan. Hanapin lang natin. Hindi ko minsan nire-rename yung ano ko. Ayan, here. In the login frame. Ito yung ito yung nasa paper, nasa pen and paper. When creating a login frame, ano sa tingin nyo, guys, yung need pa improve dito? I think there's something missing pa dun sa unang concept sa pen and paper. Ayan, guys. What do you usually see in a login page or login screen? So ito, guys, this is called an image or image placeholder. Kaya siya may X. This is an identifier in wireframing inputting your image. Kaya siya nakaganyan. So let's check the comments. Ayan, sabi ni Christine, walang forgot password. Sign up, show password, forgot password, help icon. Ayan, good point, guys. How about the others? Feeling ko meron tayong, balikan natin yung pyramid natin in yung hierarchy of needs. Ayan, may nakakuha ng sagot, pero sabihin ko muna, ayan. Again, alalahanin natin, when we're going to create a wireframe, yung hierarchy of needs or yung requirements. Ano ba talaga yung importante kapag gumagawa tayo ng wireframing? So, commonly, ang unang naisip nyo siguro on a user's perspective is yung sign up, forgot password, kasi yun talaga yung lagi natin eh. Ayan, good point, Dorothy, sign in with Google. So, meron dalawang nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Ayan, sabi ni Jermaine, create new account, third-party login Google. Ayan, napaka-advanced na yan. Pero ano lang tayo, we're going to go with the simple and basics. Ayan, so the ones who got the correct answer is Mai Valencia and Tristan Pitogo. Ayan, logo and ayan, humabol si Pearly Bruno. Ayan, that's correct, guys. So again, hierarchy of needs is yung logo. So, let's collaborate right now. Where do you want to put the logo? On the top center, top right, top left? Where do we usually place them? So, our logo is, lagawa tayo ng dito. So, I'm going to show how I did that. Just click on this, the rectangle tool. Ayan. And you can also create other things here. Create image and just drag it. If you want a perfect square, i-hold nyo yung shift and it will create a perfect square for you. If you want a freehand, you just drag it. Pero in this case, perfect square. And pwede ding circle. So, saan natin siya ilalagay? Top center, top center, top left, or top center. Ayan, mukhang nananalo si... Okay, sige, let's check pa. Ayan. Uy, madaming top center. Okay, ayan. So, nanalo si top center. Ayan, para daw align. Okay, that's good. That's good observation, guys. Okay, actually, kahit saan, kasi, di ba, when you put it, ang commonly kasi top center or top left. Maliban na lang, if you're going to put it on top, your top left, pag tinitingnan natin, there's parang may kulang pag top left, parang merong kailangan sa right side. So, good job, guys. Ayan, meron pang, may nag-chat pa, top center. Sabi ni Kevin Roy Basina, top center para align dun sa iLearn. Ayan, sabi ni Villanueva Jason, if text logo, top right, pero if icon, top center. Ayan, very good observations, guys. So, ganito siya pag wireframe. Kasi yun nga, pabago-bago isip, ganyan-ganyan. And madadalian tayo gawin siya when we start with wireframe. So, ano pala guys, if you're starting with Figma and if you want to pan in and pan out, you zoom in, zoom out, just hold on control and then scroll up. And if you want to navigate through, just hold on shift. Makikita niyo yung kamay. Ayan, yung kamay. And then just drag it. Ayan, good job guys. So, ayan na yung ating first page. So, tignan natin siya. Wait. I-display natin siya. Pupunta lang tayo sa prototype para ma-full screen natin. Galing ko lang to. Ay, nawala yung gawa ko. Pero nandyan siya. Wait lang. Okay, saan ko nilagay? Ayan, ito. Okay. Para ma-display natin siya, pupunta tayo sa prototype. Asan na? Ayan, mabagal lang siya. Ayan, punta tayo sa prototype. And then, prototype again. Ayan, kung makikita nyo, hala, ano to, nakaka-overwhelm prototype. We will go into this later. Pero ayan, marami siyang connections. So, ano nga ba yung gagawin ko? Ito. Ililipat ko tong arrow dito. Yan, para ito yung pag pinindot natin yung play button sa top right, yun yung papakita. Ayan, so this is our first frame or let's say first page. Ayan. So makikita nyo yung logo, yung image, yung name ng app, username, password, login. So others have suggested yung balikan ko nga ulit. Yung third party login, create new account, sign in. Ayan. Those are good suggestions, guys, and observations. You always have to identify kung ano yung requirement ng product or requirement ni client. So, for example, let's say, ito lang yung inano niya, ito lang yung hinihingi niya. So, talaga, we'll refrain from adding other things if it's not needed. So, in this case, since simple lang naman, hindi muna natin ilalagay yung mga third party para simple lang siya. And then, itong login button, pwede pa to ayusin by simply adding just a square. So, instead of creating another shape, what you can do here is, yung common na ginagawa natin when you click the element is Control-C. Pero if you want it to be aligned, you click on it and then hold on Alt and then, ayan siya, mag-a-align na siya. Ayan, it will duplicate. Ayan yung mga, shortcut keys. Okay, sabi ni Janenyo Sampayan, maganda yung prototype for transition. Yes, and we'll go into that later. Okay. So, next naman is, asan yung kamay? Ayan, yun yung kamay. So, next is courses. So, let's check again. Let's go back to, wait, ayoko ng square. Gawin natin rectangle. Ayan. And ayan. So, that is, ito yung magiging login button niya. If mas gusto niyo siyang i-identify, so again, dito naman sa text, click on it. Ayan, so makikita niyo na nasa behind siya. I-move lang natin yan. And then, so natin, login. Ayan. Okay, ayan siya, login. And then, let's go to the next part naman. So sa tutoring app idea natin is gagawa daw ng, ang susunod, pag pinit niya daw yung login, pupunta na siya sa courses. So ayan, di ba pag nakita niyo nakakalito, alin ba talaga dito? So naka-cross na to, courses, and then may image. Ito daw yung mga covers or images ng courses ng subjects, and nandito yung title ng ano. Usually pag ganito, more on description, but if it's a one-liner title, and then sabi daw, mag-a-add daw tayo ng add courses na feature. So, ayan. So, ito yung itsura ng courses na wireframe natin. So, makikita ulit natin, pag gagawa tayo ng image placeholder, you put an X here, and then ito yung title. So, tanggalin muna natin yung prototype. Ayan. Ayan siya. And let's check. So makikita nyo dito, nakaganito siya kasi, I forgot to mention pala guys, the frame that we are using right now is an Android frame. So, aside from getting the other frames dun sa community, so dito sa community cup, diba, you can get other free resources sa community. In frames then, you can create your own frame or you can, wait, let's click that again here. Or you can create yung mga nakaset na frames, whether it may be on mobile, yung mga yan, tablet. Here, etong going back here, I created my presentation in Figma. So ayan, you can create presentations here for watch, paper, ayan, yung mga modules, assignments, dyan. And social media. Ayan, for my fellow social media, mga designers, you can create yung mga content nyo here. And itong Figma community, yung mga plugins na pwede nyo gawin. So, ayan. Okay. So, in here, this is it. This is an Android frame that I'm using right now. Kaya ganito siya. And bakit bitin? Atcha? Kasi this one, the concept here is scrollable siya. What will happen if I extended it? So, currently, kapag prines ko yung courses, pag in-extend ko to, ayan, ito yung trouble ko kanina. Inayos ko pa itong nakadikit siya. Pero when I extend this, gawa tayo ng bago. So when creating a new frame, just go here or press F, ayan, and lagay tayo ng another Android. Here. So for example, this one. So, gusto ko puro mga picture. Ilagay ko dito. Ayan, copy-paste. Tapos, gusto ko nasa-scroll siya. So, let's just duplicate this. Ayan. Sabi ni Sabiarian Fernandez, yung format niya po parang yung website na ginagamit ko for online class. Ayan, pwede din kayo gumawa ng mga mock-up, especially if you want to upskill in terms of designing. Ayan. So, ayan, kunwari, para mapadali, ito, pag nakagawa ka na ng multiple objects, saan na ba yun? Duplicate. Ayan, kunwari ganyan. Lagpas siya. If you want this, if you want to create yung wireframing nyo in a scrollable prototype siya. Ay, na-duplicate ko na pala. Isa pa. Ayan. Out. Ayan. Ayan siya. So, eto, display muna natin to. For example, this one, prototype. Lipat ko lang tong arrow here para ito yung ma-display. Ayan. Ang tagal, guys. Okay. Ayan. So, kung makikita nyo, ang nangyayari, nakalabas kasi siya sa frame. Sa frame ni Android 3. Pag pinasok siya, ayan siya. Ayan. And ang mangyayari, kapag in-extend kasi natin itong frame, nakatikit pa din to. Pag in-extend kasi natin yung frame, ma-alter yung kanyang kanyang frame mismo. So in order to avoid that, ang gagawin is if you want to achieve a scrollable frame is nakapatong siya dito. So papakita ko yung niya, yung what it will look like in a prototype. So nasa na yung arrow? Ayan. Dito. Ayan, sige dito. Ayan. Ayan siya. So, pag nakapatong siya, it will scroll. So, itong scroll feature, mamaya yan sa ating prototype. Okay, so ito naman. Let's observe again, guys, and collaborate. So, the purpose then of Figma is collaboration. So, in this part, so nagawa na natin yung gusto, kung si client to. Ayan, sabi ni client, courses, picture, add course, log out. So, kung lagay natin si log out. We can duplicate this. Ayan. Ay, nasa prototype pala ako. Design tayo. Ayan. Okay, so, ayan siya. Kalimutan ko yung text. Okay. Ayan. Kunwari, ayan. Log out. Kunwari. Ayan. Ano yung kailangan pa i-improve dito? Ayan, guys. What else do you think sa ating mga Zoom viewers? Nawala yung logo. Icon much better. Sabi ni Ryan. Sino pa, guys? Nawala daw yung logo. Alignment. Ayan, alignment. Navigation bar. Ayan. Nav bar. Hamburger. Hamburger icon. Ayan. Scroll down. Pwede. Okay. Sabi ni John Christian Diamante, details per course. Sabi ni Mai, maybe add description of the courses. Ayan. So, good observation, guys. Lahat good points. So, even if sabi ni Pearly Bruno, search bar. Ayan. So, dito, di ba sabi ko kanina, when you make more than one line, interpretation nito is description. Pero since, kung nagbago daw yung isip ni client, title na lang daw. Kasi daw, pag nag-add ka ng pag pinindot mo daw yung course, merong course, may lilipat siya sa ganito ng description. So, good observations, guys. So, di ba, syempre, para hindi overwhelming ang ating layout, pag isisiksik mo, yun din yung one thing you need to observe is hindi mo dapat ipagsisiksikan yung nasa wireframe mo, yung frame mo. So, to avoid that, sabi ni client, sige, tanggalin mo na yung description at ayan na siya. Mas malinis na siya. And, good observations, guys. Nakikita ko in terms of what needs yung kailangan dagdagan o bawasan. Sabi ni Jersen is yung alignment. Makikita nyo dito, mapapansin nyo, di ba masyado siyang parang masikip, parang yung yung margin niya or yung border niya is parang ang liit-liit na lang ng free space. So, ayan, you can adjust this and ayan, pwede nyo siya i-move closer and yung mga eto siguro kaganyanin natin. Ayan, 'di ba? Para hindi siya parang pinagsiksikan. Ayan siya. And then what else? Sa mga observations natin, always guys, identify yung ni-require lang ni client or yung project, ano yung required sa project. So since ito yung hinihingi niya, ito yung bibigay natin. So we won't add other additional features na hindi naman nire-require sa atin kasi tayo din yung may hirapan sa pag-adjust na naglagay ka ng additional features pero hindi yun yung gusto niya. So common, magaganda yung sagot niyo, guys. Hamburger icon, yun yung mga navigation na mga menu, ganyan na importante din ngayon when designing. So since straight ang ano natin ngayon, ang product natin ngayon or application is a very straightforward tutorial app na pag nag-login ka dito, pasok agad dito. Pag pinindot ko to, ito lilitaw, tapos may back. Pag pinindot ko tong add, ito back save. Ganon siya ka-straightforward. So hindi tayo magpapakalalim today. Pero very good guys. So sino pa? Total, ito very good. Sabi ni Kevin, total number of courses available. Ayan. Pwede din, pwede. You can suggest it, di ba? You can suggest it to your client. Pwedeng ilagay dito. Pwedeng dito sa dito sa gitna or maybe a counter somewhere. Sabi ni Peter James Almazan, user's name. Yes, commonly pwede tayong maglagay ng text dito. So, kung wari, hi Atcha, o kaya welcome Atcha, yung mga ganyan. Wait, palitan natin to. So, dito pala guys, pag text, lahat ng Google Fonts naka-integrate na dito sa Figma, mga common Google Fonts na need natin. We also have to think of the typography, yung hierarchy ng text. So, most probably, it should be a size smaller, pati din yung logout. Kasi ang gusto natin i-highlight is yung title na courses. Ayan, so liliitan natin to. So, let's say 12, hindi, mali pala pinindot ko. Ayan, let's say, ayan, ganyan. Kumari, hi Atcha, ayan. Lagay natin dito. Kumari, ganyan. And of course, yung logout, liliitan din natin yan. What else, guys? May nakita ko na ano ko ba yan? Ayan, yung scroll down. Pwede nyo ilagay yung mismong scroll down niya. Wait lang, saan na ba yun? Or you can just leave it be, especially if nagpipip to. Kasi di ba most probably pag may ganito, scroll ko pa ganyan siya. Or pwede din, nasa na ba yun? Meron tayo sa UI kit na, scroll bar. Ayan, for example, this one. Ito maganda sa UI kit. You have two components. Pwede mo siyang palit-palitan. Ayan. Ito, paste it. Ayan, kunwari, ganyan. Ayan. Pero kapag wireframing, again, it will be a long block lang to identify scroll bar to. Pero kapag prototyping, mas detailed na yung ating mga elements. So that's a good observation, suggestion. Ayan. User profile. Ayan na, dumating. Nalalayo na tayo sa focus, guys. Sabi ni Jason, course progress percentage. Ayan na, lumalalim na. Ayan. Lagi tayong babalik, guys, sa requirements ng product. Ayan, that's always what we have to be mindful. So if ito, kung ano yung kailangan, yun yung gagawin. Pero like I have said, you can suggest din yung mga additional features. So simple, muna tayo, iLearn na tutoring app. Baka pwede mag-add ng search bar. Yes, thank you, Rich. Pwede mag-add ng search bar. Maganda yon kasi para easily natin mahanap kung meron na bang course na ino-offer. So, another good thing, thank you for that kasi another good thing about Figma naalala ko is you also have plugins, especially if you want to integrate a feature externally. Meron tayong Iconify, and then Iconify, so kung hindi mo nagugustuhan or wala kang mapili dun sa mga nasa Figma na, you can also include yung mga plugins. So, wait lang. Hindi ko magalaw. Ayan. So, dito, search tayo ng search. Search tayo ng search icon. Ayan. So, kahit kunwari ito. This one, parang masyadong thick. Ito na lang. Ayan. So, kunwari, pwede nating i-flip. Ayan. Ay, mali. Ay. Wait lang. Take 2. Ayan, flip. Or pwede mo ilagay dito, tapos maglalagay ka ng block. Or minsan commonly, di ba, pag nagsisearch ka nasa top right, kaso nandiyan na si logout. So, and then since nasa wireframing pa rin tayo, we can add yung block dito. Okay. Ayan, guys. So, this is an example. Or since yun nga, the wireframes composed of just blocks and text, you can create a small square for the search icon. Ayan, thank you, Rich. Ayan, tingnan pa natin yung suggestions ng iba. Ayan, minimalist, more white space, I think much better. Yes, that's true. Pwede menu icons sa bottom. Yes, menu icons, or they also call it navigation pane. Sabi ni John, try feather icons. Yes. Courses, categories, free. Ayan, good suggestion, Nigel. Ayan. Maybe left aligned text. Saan? Saan, Mai? Para to improve the experience. And good observation, guys, since Wireframe also focuses on user experience. Ayan. Okay. Let's say this is okay na kasi we also have Wireframe pa, guys. Pero thank you so much for your active participation. Yes. So, kung done na tayo sa ating Wireframe. So, the next goal, ito yung ulit yung flow, guys. Ito yung flow niya. So, the behavior of our iLearn or tutoring app is to log in. Pagka-log in, pasok agad dito sa courses. And then, pagka-pindot ng add course, pasok dito sa course description na napili. And pag nag-back, babalik dito sa course. Pag pinindot tong plus, add course, pag nag-back, pupunta dito sa course. Pero pag nag-save, babalik din dito sa course. So, di ba na, even if this is just simple, medyo nakaka-overwhelm. And of course, pag nag-log out ka, babalik tayo sa login. So, how are we going to do that? So, let's now define what prototyping means. Ayan, we're almost done, guys. Don't worry. Okay. Sana yung... Ayan, prototyping. What is prototyping? Papa-shoutout, guys, yung manok ko. Tingnan natin yung chat. Okay. Course titles. Ayan. Thank you, guys. Okay. Now, let's talk about prototyping. So, makikita nyo dito, there's a guy na parang, paano mo papagalawin yung wireframe mo gamit ang Figma? So, yes, ganyan ka-powerful si Figma. So, prototyping, in simpler terms, it's, diba, when you hear prototyping, animations, it focuses on the flow of the application. So, we identified yung mga needs, yung mga requirements ng ating product sa wireframing. Focuses on user experience. And this naman is yung mas naman tayo sa UI, yung display, prototyping. It focuses on the animation, flow, and behavior, and it is also defined as linking different frames with elements. So, ayan siya. Now we're going to do prototyping. This is the fun part, is making each frame or element come to life. So ito, since nagdagdag tayo dito, ito na yung ano natin. Nawala yung, nagalaw, na ano ko kasi hindi ko ata siya na-duplicate. Ayan, dito lang. Ayan. So how do we use prototyping in Figma? So when you go to your right pane, meron dito design, prototype, inspect. You just go to prototype. And then you click on the element. Ayan. So, kung wari, ito. So, aayusin natin to kasi yung logout, nakaano sa sarili niya. So, ito. You can group this, guys. So, pwede natin to i-group. Group selection. And then, name it login dapat to. Login. Ayan. Edit natin yung text. Okay. So, ayan. So, login. Ayan. So, since dinuplicate ko siya, naka-automatic na yung logout sa login. So, pag i-connect natin yung login, it should connect sa frame. So, be mindful, guys, where you connect things. So, dito, i-connect natin siya sa login. Ayan. And in here, when you click on yung connector nyo, makikita nyo dito yung interaction details. So you can change this to on drag, others, yung hovering. So for now, we're going to use yung common, which is on click. And then navigate to pwedeng open overlay. Ayan. So let's try open overlay and then courses. Ayan. So, dito, pwedeng overlay niya is lumitaw siya center, sa gilid, or sa baba. So, let's try sa baba. Ayan. Ito, this means when you close when clicking outside, when you click it, it will go back dun sa ano. Ayan. So, let's X muna natin yan. And then, animation. Maganda dito sa Figma, meron din siyang smart animate. It automatically creates the animations for you based on the elements. So, let's check. So, prototype. Hanapin muna natin yung arrow. So, yung arrow, yun yung identifier where the preview starts. So, itong arrow, lagay natin dito. Ayan. So, ito yung magiging itsura niya. So, same goes with the other elements and other frames when you do prototyping. So, I already made a pre-made one. So, fix ko lang to. Ayan. So, mabagal lang siya ulit mag-load. Ayan. Okay, so ayan siya guys. So, ito yung unang part. So, nag-add na tayo ng logo. Ito pa rin, same thing, and yung login. So, when I click on login, ganyan siya. So, parang hindi masyadong, dagdagan natin ng konting animation. So, log out, dapat babalik siya. Hindi siya bumalik. Ayan. So, naka-overlay kasi siya, kaya hindi tayo nakakabalik. Yun yung overlay. Pero pag clinic tong close when clicking outside, try natin. Ayan. Pag overlay kasi, yun, from the term itself, overlay, hindi ka makakaback unless you click on the close when clicking outside. So, ayun siya. Log in, close when clicking outside, balik siya. Pero, syempre, pag nasa phone tayo, hindi naman tayo makaklick outside sa RS. So, dito tayo sa navigate to or pwedeng swap overlay. Ayan. Animation, you can change this to dissolve. Try natin. So, try natin pag ganito, anong mangyayari. Log in. Ayan. Di ba? Pero, parang mas gusto ko yung mag-scroll up siya. So, paano yun? So, paano yun? Saan nga ulit yun? Open. Nawala yung connection niya. Ayan. Ito. Ayan. So, let me check. Hanapin ko nga ulit. Nasaan nga ba yun? Centered. Try natin tong bottom center. Yan. Open overlay. So, log out muna tayo. Log out. Ay, ayun. Hindi ka makaka-log out. So, simplihan muna natin guys yung interaction. Pag-click. Ayan. Sa click, navigate to. Ayan. Okay. Log out tayo. Bakit ayaw? Bakit scroll to? Kaya pala, yun guys, check nyo siya. Ulitin natin to. So, pag i-delete nyo yung interaction nyo, just click on the minus symbol. Ayan. Dito, connect natin dito. Ayan. Okay. Dapat gagana na siya. Ayan. So, nag-dissolve siya kasi dissolve yung nilagay natin. So, log in. And then, ito na yung scroll, naka-scroll feature na siya. And then, next, di ba, ang gusto ni client is may add course. So, pag pinindot ko, guys, saan dapat siya pupunta? Sa description or add course? Ayan, nandiyan yung sagot. Pag clinic ko yung add button, saan siya dapat saan natin siya ipo-prototype? Saan natin siya iaano yung behavior or flow? Ayan guys, what's the answer? Add course. Ayan, ang galing na una si Jericho. Ayan, thank you guys. So thank you. Ayan, add course. Very good guys. So ito siya, add course. Ayun. So, di ba? Ito, you can explore yung different prototyping niya. So, when you click this, umangat siya. Yun yung animation na nilagay ko. So this is an example, title, Figma, ganyan siya, and attach cover. So pag nag-back ako guys, saan naman siya mapupunta? Dapat back. So saan ba ako galing? Saan ako babalik? Sino nauna? Ayan! Ang dami. So ang nauna is si John. Ayan, courses. Thank you. Ayan. Ayan. So, sa course. Very good. Okay, so paano naman so pag pinindot ko to, so di ba usually when it comes to user experience, minsan may mga users, kiniklik yung icon or yung title. That is why we create animations for both. So pag clinic ko yung information security, ayan siya. Pag clinic ko tong placeholder, ayan siya. Ma-observe nyo, iba yung animation ng title, papuntang left, ito naman, pa-upwards. Add course, save, balik siya dun sa course, and then log out. Ayan guys, that's the really cool thing about prototyping here at Figma. And let's check naman what it will look like kapag naka-high fidelity siya. Sabihin na natin kung imagine natin na ito na talaga yung gusto ni user. Kung ayaw ko nung log out. Gusto ko straight to the point na kung ganun siya. Kung ganun talaga gusto niya. So, ito yung magiging itsura niya. Syempre, hindi pa natin ma-appreciate pati ni client, parang, ano yan, ba't ganyan? Ito yung pinapagawa ko sa'yo, pero ano. So, kung may client kang ganun, you explain to them, ganito dito tayo magsa-start ng conceptualization. So, ito yung magiging itsura niya, is what will look like kapag high fidelity. So, ito yung magiging first page niya. Ayan, I learned. Imagine nyo na lang, nandiyan yung dinagdag natin, guys. So, log in. Ayan, o diba? And then courses. So, ayan siya. And then, pag clinic ko to, again, same goes. Ayan, back. Yung title, pagilid. You can do same animations. It depends on you. Ayan, nasa scroll siya. Pag inad ko to, makikita dito, mapapansin nyo, madami pang kailangan improve dito. Masyadong masikip. Ayan, you have to observe the new spaces niya. And then attach cover, kung wari ito napili ko, and then click on save. Kung wari na save na siya. So, dapat magre-reflect siya dito sa baba. Ayan. Ayan siya guys. So, yan siya pag na-add. And, ayun. We're on time. Okay, so going back, ano ko lang yung yun. So pag kunwari madami kayong gumawa ka ng low fidelity, high fidelity, lagay mo na lang sa isang file and when you want to preview it, transfer mo na lang to. Okay. Let's wait. Ayan guys. Okay. So that ends my presentation, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I always value your time. You can follow me here on my socials, Atcha Abe on YouTube, on LinkedIn, Athena Abe, Facebook, Athena Alyafe. So Facebook page ko to, guys. If you need help or if you have other questions na it will go beyond our time this afternoon, you can leave me a message on my Facebook page, guys. And on Instagram at Alyafe Abe. Thank you so much, guys.